and welcome to Buffoon of the Week. We're a show that searches through last week's news and current events, looking for people who did or said something so completely dim-witted that they earn a shot at winning our weekly award. After we nominate them, you get to choose who wins by leaving a comment right below this video, by heading over to any of our social media, or by going on to our brand new website. That's right, last week we launched Buffoonertheweek.com. Stop by to find new articles about buffoons, alongside some interactive content like polls, quizzes, lists, and a lot more if you register. Check us out today, Buffoonertheweek.com. Speaking of polls, you chose Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler as Buffoon of the Week, and the vote was a lot closer than many people thought it would be. But in the end, Wheeler's willful blind eye towards rioting was much more buffoonish than Ted Yoho's outburst at AOC, which many dispute ever even happened. So whether you're tuning into the show for the first time, or if you're stopping by every single week, you should know that we release weekly videos on Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and sometimes we'll release a bonus video here or there. So if you like what you see in here, in this or any of our other videos, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, and please subscribe to the show, and that means also turning on that notification bell so you know every time we upload new content. Please help us grow the show. It's just a small click of a button for you guys, but to us, it means so much more. Each week, before revealing our nominees, we throw a spotlight on other buffoons who tried really hard to get nominated, but our nominating committee felt that they were just not quite good enough. But they are good enough to be one of our dishonorable mention. Looks like AOC is back at it again. This time, the pride of the People's Republic of New York City singled out a statue in the Capitol as a symbol of white supremacist culture. The statue she chose was that of Saint Damien of Malachi, a Belgian priest who ministered to a leper colony in Hawaii when the islands were an independent kingdom. He did this for about 16 years until his death. Yep, there's the face of white supremacy right there, you buffoonish moron. If this isn't a sure sign that this narrative has run its course, I don't know what is. Speaking of New York buffoons, we might as well get our DeBozo watch out of the way. With all the important challenges facing the People's Republic of New York City, what does DeBozo choose to address? Redesigning the seal of the city because it depicts a Native American. Way to keep an eye on the ball. Spikes in crime, spiraling out of control homelessness, but please, go draw a new seal because it offends someone. Yeah, anything to ignore the fact that there have been more shootings in the past 8 months than there were in all of 2019. How does this man sleep at night? We now head on over to the West Coast and we find ESPN Seattle sports radio personality Paul Gallant, who experienced a slow burn of buffoonery. About 6 weeks ago, Gallant responded to a tweet by President Trump telling him to chill, dog, disputing the president's claims about protests turning into riots in Seattle. Fast forward to last week, and Gallant found the Starbucks in his own apartment complex destroyed by riots? And all of a sudden, Gallant was taking the riots in Seattle seriously enough to want to tweet about his desire to buy a firearm. Hey Paul, chill, dog. It's not like these riots are actually happening, right? It's amazing how that happens, isn't it? How people will only take things seriously when it arrives at their front doorstep. And finally, whoever is running the National Republican Campaign Committee's Twitter account might need some chill of their own. After town hall columnist Kurt Schlichter criticized a text message he received from the NRCC requesting donations, some Nimrod running its social media account called him Karen for complaining about it. Well, that was a little bit harsh, wasn't it? You'd think an organization looking to get money out of people would know basic customer service. Now, even we have to admit, those are some pretty good dishonorable mentions, and there are many others that we didn't have time to talk about here, but they're listed on Buffoonertheweek.com, so check it out. However, this week's nominees were on another level, as we present our case for far-left media buffoon, Sink. Hey, how do you pronounce his name? Jank? But there's no J. Okay, never mind. Jank. Yeah, the last name too? Okay, I'm trusting you on this. Cenk Uygur and Congressman Jerry Nadler. Like what you see so far? Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Also, leave us a comment and tell us what you're thinking, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another show. You know, folks, to many people, the news of Herman Cain's untimely passing after contracting coronavirus was a very sad moment. But to this week's first nominee, not-so-young Turk Cenk Uygur, the former presidential candidate and ardent Trump supporter's passing was a moment of political opportunity. So while most people posted condolences and remembrances all across the internet in tribute of Herman Cain's life, Uygur, without batting an eye, took to the Twitters and a live stream on the YouTubes to post some ghoulish I told you so's.
There's this etiquette about not saying anything bad about people who passed away. You don't want to do that in regards to rubbing it in, and they got family members, etc., of course. On the other hand, I don't believe that, once they pass away, they become a saint. No, Herman Cain honestly was a clown, politically at least. And the reason that why a lot of donors loved him and why he got a lot of clout in the Republican circles is, one, he was black, and so they're like, a black guy who agrees that we should get all the tax cuts in the world, and there are really not that many issues regarding racism. We love this guy. Anytime there's a black Republican who's willing to say, the conditions for black people in this country is not that big a deal. What's the big deal? Just, get bootstraps. And the bootstraps are always like begging Republican donors for money. It's really sick. Anyway, and says tax cuts. Boom, it's over. They're going to be very popular in Republican circles. Now, for religious folks, I get it. And I'm trying to be understanding. But at the same time, science is real, and people need to understand that it's real, because we live in a time where people don't understand that, and it has lethal consequences. So they kept tweeting out, send in more prayers. The prayers are working. And God is listening to you. Okay, don't worry, God is listening to you. Okay, and he tweeted out, this virus is strong, but our God is stronger. See, guys, I love you, but this is nonsense talk. No, he's dead. So, according to Herman Cain's logic, that means coronavirus is stronger than God, because he set up a competition between the strength of God and coronavirus. Guess who won? Today, coronavirus won. He didn't wear a mask, he got coronavirus. Louis Gohmert didn't wear a mask, he got coronavirus. Herman Cain has passed away. Obviously, our condolences to his family, and I say that very, very legitimate. They've got to be absolutely devastated right now.
Oh yeah, we totally believe the sincerity of Cenk's condolences, don't you? Especially after calling him a clown. News of Cain's death on Uygur's YouTube livestream was met with grotesque celebration from his online minions, proving that he attracts some real high-quality human beings with his messages. Some of these ghouls actually reveled in the tragic news. Alright, you know what? Uygur wants to get real about this, so let's get real. There are plenty of people dying from coronavirus who have been wearing their masks and who have been as careful as they possibly can be. But in this particular case, Uygur, with the news of Cain's death not even hours old, goes out to dunk on it with a total lack of respect for Herman Cain's family. I guarantee you that Uygur didn't condemn mass protests and lawless riots breaking out with the same kind of speed in the name of public safety that he did Herman Cain's death, because those behaviors suit the purposes which he endorses. Uygur is standing on the grave of Herman Cain much like he would a soapbox to espouse his skewed political beliefs under the guise of public safety. I wonder if Cenk even remembers the last time he acted non-politically. But by now, Uygur's predictable behavior is merely a reflex from a purely political animal with no soul. Hey, don't forget that Buffoon of the Week is all over social media, so when you're online, make sure you like us on Facebook, you follow us on the Twitters, and go on over to Instagram and like us there too. But the most important thing you have to do is remember to subscribe right here on YouTube. Last week was supposed to be when our second nominee, Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler, was going to expose Attorney General William Barr for the Trump crony that he is, for carrying the water for his re-election efforts instead of upholding justice.
You really can't hide behind legal fictions this time, Mr. Barr. It's all out in the open, where the people can see what you are doing for themselves. The president wants footage for his campaign ads, and you appear to be serving it up to him as ordered. In most of these cities, the protests had begun to wind down before you marched in and confronted the protesters. And the protesters aren't mobs. They are mothers and veterans and mayors.
That's right, Jerry. The world is indeed watching, including the millions who saw you on social media denying Antifa riots in Portland as a myth.
True. There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa that's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
Of course, as you'd expect, the hearing itself devolved into epic failure, as many Democrats ran roughshod all over Nadler, and curiously, they didn't want to hear much of what the Attorney General had to say.
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General. I'm reclaiming my time. Mr. Attorney General, I have short time. Can you just tell me why you have not...
I have the time, thank you. May I respond to these?
Reclaiming my time.
Yeah, I'm answering your question.
Well, you gotta let him answer.
Reclaiming my time.
I reclaim my time.
I wasn't reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney General. Reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr. Barr, I just asked for a yes or no, so let me just tell you, I'm starting to lose my temper. Excuse me, this is my time. Excuse me, Mr. Barr, this is my time, and I control it.
Yeah, but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.
Mr. Barr, I will get to that. Reclaiming my time, you answered the question. Okay. I have another question for you. On June 19th of 2020.
Actually, I need to answer that question.
Mr. Attorney General, you did answer the question.
No, you said under penalty of perjury. I'm going to answer the damn question. Okay?
You said for months you've tried to get the Attorney General to come. He's here. Why don't you let him speak? Why don't you let him answer the question?
The gentleman's rudeness is not recognized.
Rudeness?
Rudeness is on the other side.
Nadler's hearing got so far off track that he got downright petty with Congressman Jim Jordan and other Republican lawmakers over wearing masks.
Yield back, I would remind Mr. Jordan, Mr. Biggs, and Mr. Johnson to stop violating the rules of the committee, to stop violating the safety of the members of the committee, to stop holding themselves out as not caring by refusing to wear their masks.
Can we get the picture?
Is it permissible to drink a sip of coffee? It is not permissible.
Not to drink.
We can't drink coffee in the room.
Now.
I mean, come on, folks. If there's anyone out there who knows how to wear a mask, it's Nadler. Nadler's outrageous behavior seemingly knew no bounds. Check out this exchange towards the end of the hearing.
Ms. Dean is recognized.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, could we take a 5-minute break?
Dean is recognized.
Could we take a 5-minute break, Mr. Chairman?
No.
That's a common courtesy,
Dean is
Chairman, of every witness.
I waited an hour for you this morning. I haven't had lunch. I'd like to take a 5-minute break.
Mr. Attorney General, we are almost finished. We're going to be finished in a few minutes. Otherwise, we can certainly take a break, but
You're class act.
Okay.
Yeah.
After this, if you still want, we'll have a break.
No, he wants a break now.
You want it now?
And you just mentioned rudeness. I think we're seeing it on display. Let's let the Attorney General have a break.
So by the end of the hearing, Nadler was basically shamed into acting like a decent human being. We know it's something new for you, Jerry, but just try it out. You might like it. My goodness, what can we say about Jerry Nadler that many people haven't already said? He's a walking, talking embodiment of the useful idiot. His kangaroo court hearings are not searches for truth. As Nadler's Antifa is a myth comment proves, Nadler couldn't find truth if it was setting fire to his office. Nadler's hearings are searches for gotcha moments, to throw into a political ad or to throw in the face of a political opponent. This latest failure of a hearing, on top of his dreadful impeachment trial work, has shown the nation that no one should ever take Jerry Nadler seriously. He's just another sock puppet for the progressive cause. There you go. The nominees have been set, but only one can prevail. It's time to vote for your choice. Tell us who you got for this week's Buffoon of the Week. Hey, so thanks again for watching the whole video. Definitely go check out our new website at buffoonertheweek.com, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell. Come back next week, where we'll have 2 more nominees, but only one can be Buffoon of the Week.